Okay, welcome to Keyword Crypto. I'm doing a review on the Cryptosteel capsule. This is a seed phrase protector. So I bought one, and they were nice enough to send me one that I will give to a lucky listener. So I've already used one of these. So when you open it up, that's not usually bent. That's just from me opening it up too many times. Call it the mother of all backups. Get your digital asset. And it's just kind of like a breakdown of everything. Okay, cool. And then this is it. So you got, this is how, this kind of like matches this, but not perfectly. So you can't like set it over it and look through it to see, because they're different sizes and they won't line up. So that's, I don't want to say it's annoying, but it's, it just takes a little bit longer than normal. So this is the capsule, and it's, you know, it's really well made. It's easy to hold. It's got a little hole right there. You can put a like a lanyard through it or something like that, and you can wear it around your neck if you want. They have that in their ad, in their picture. It's just really well made. I mean, the metal is it's solid. So and look how many screws it takes to get it out. So it's, you know, it's really tight. It's nothing gets in there. When Jameson Lop dropped one of these in a vat of acid, the acid didn't get through because it was so many, it's so well sealed that the acid didn't get in there. So that's pretty impressive. So this comes off, and then you put the tiles on here, and then you put a connector right there to block it, to lock them all in. This bends, so you don't want to bend that. That would kind of ruin it. And Jameson Lop had one complaint about this, that when he used a press and he put 20,000 pounds here, it bent a little bit. But it took 20,000 pounds of pressure. And his thing is, you could try to cut off the cap, but once you cut off the cap, it would cut it right there, and then potentially you wouldn't, if you cut it in a way, they could all just slide right off, and so you would lose your password. Or if you were able to cut it right there and it was still connected to this part right here, it would be bent. And so then how do you get that out of there? Because if it's bent like at, you know, like a 45, how do you get a piece of metal that's been bent out without, I don't know, you have to like try to like bend it all the way and just keep bending it and bending it and bending it to get it out of there. But then once you bend it, if this part's straight, like if this part's straight here, there, and this part's straight there, then it just, you know, it makes it really, it would make it pretty much impossible. So he called it Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat. Sorry, I can never say that word. Because you know it's in there, but you can't actually see it. So my suggestion to them would be to not have this attached to here, and have holes like this on both ends where you can put the fastener. So this is the fastener, and it goes through that, and then you bend it and it just kind of locks it in place. So you could have those two, but instead of also having this be a solid piece of metal, you could have it be a flexible metal ribbon that is still extremely durable but flexible, and then you wouldn't have to worry about that. You wouldn't have to worry about if this gets bent or if this gets bent. It would be a fluid piece of metal with caps at both ends. And that way, if this were to ever get bent, and this wouldn't twist off, the cap wouldn't twist off. You could cut the cap off, and then this would just, this piece, you know, no matter how much this was bent, if this was flexible metal, like, you know, like a metal ribbon or something like that, and all the tiles were on that, it could just slide right out. So that's my only, and we're talking about like absolute worst case scenario. This is just like, you know, if you buried it in your backyard and forgot that it was there, and then were like digging some pipes or something like that, and you had a backhoe, and then you like landed right on it, you could bend it that way. Or if there was a massive earthquake and the entire building collapsed, and it collapsed on it in just the right way where it bent it, that might bend it. But like he said, it took him 20,000 pounds of pressure to do it. So that's pretty impressive. This is seriously solid metal. So I wouldn't worry about that so much, but you know, it's something to think about in the back of your mind. Worst case scenario. And crypto people like to think about worst case scenarios. That's why we have these in the first place. Because if you have your seed, and if you have it in a fireproof safe, and I have 2 fireproof safes, and one of them I used as a step stool, and it cracked it. So, you know, if you have a fireproof safe and the house collapsed, and it collapsed on the fireproof safe in just a right way that where it could crack it, and then heat got in there, and it could burn, you know, the seed that was written down on it. Like, that's why we have these. So like, you have multiple options. So my other complaint about this is that this is kind of, there's 2 things. So if you're in a flat surface, this is fine, right? Because nothing's really happening or whatever. But if for some reason you have it like on a table or something like that, and somebody knocks it off and all these fall out, like, this is J. Can you see that? It's so hard to read. And not like in a bad way, like, it's whatever, it's an imprint. Like, it's not meant to be super easy to see, but like, that would just take you forever to have to put everything back. And then the only other issue is these are just 0 through 9, and these are all symbols. So if you need these for anything, like say you were using this for your master password for like LastPass or Bitwarden or Dashlane or something like that, and you wanted to have your master password somewhere hidden, and you wanted to have numbers and symbols, these would kind of be a little bit of a pain in the butt. I don't see an easier way to do it with this space without having to go like twice as big. But just keep that in mind, that if you're going to use numbers or symbols, it's going to be a little bit more work. I'm going to pause this for a second. Okay, so I wanted to show you, so this is the empty one. And then this is the one that I've already done. So this is my only other complaint is, and it's not really a complaint, this is like nitpicky. So if you were to have a seed phrase that you needed to get access to periodically, say you have like, I don't know, like a burner phone or something like that, and you're constantly inputting a seed phrase every time you change SIM cards or something like that. Just, you know, some people are freaky, some people are nervous, some people are whatever. This may not be the best one for you if that's the situation, because this is 24. This is the first 4 letters of a 24-word seed phrase. So there's not a lot of room in trying to read that letter, which is a T, right? Like, that's hard. And then, going through one at a time in each one. I tried to do this at night when I had lower light, and it was really difficult because you have to hit just the exact perfect angle to see the reflection, and because there's not a lot of contrast, as you can see. I'm gonna do this one so I remember which one it is. So there's not a lot of contrast, and as you can see, so that's an eye, and that's an eye. So it has one side is uppercase, one side is lowercase. So that's really cool. I really like that. So this is kind of one of those like set it and forget it type things. Just it's there, but it's got to it's great for something that you may only need like once in a lifetime, or maybe never at all, which is great. And the other great thing about it is this fastener comes off, and they come with, I could probably reuse this fastener because I don't think I creased it, but they come with an extra 8, 9, 10, something like that. So you could easily use this multiple times if you lost your wallet, or if you didn't like that wallet anymore, if you found out like the wallet got hacked. Because that's the thing, is like cryptocurrency is nascent technology, and so you may put your funds on a wallet, and that wallet may have a major exploit, and you want to get your funds off there and get it on a different one. If you're using something like Blockplate, which is absolutely amazing, and I'll talk about that one. I'm doing it. I did a test on that one. That's a one and done. Once you put the seed phrase on that, it's imprinted on there. You can't ever change it. So it's like a $60 piece of metal that if you change wallets, that's it. You got to throw it away and buy another one. So that's not good in a pinch. If you're in a pinch and you need to get your funds off a wallet onto another wallet and you want to have a backup, this is great for that, because I can just take this off, dump all these out, start all over again, and then now I'm protected again. The other good thing about this is, I have big fingers, so if you have smaller fingers, it's going to be great. And if you're in a good lighting situation, it's going to be great. So like I said, this is the first four characters of a 24-word seed phrase. You can do two. You can do two 12 words. So if you have like two different Bitcoin wallets, I know like most Bitcoin wallets only use 12 words. And like the Trezor uses 12 words. So you could put 12. So if you have like two different Trezor, or like if you have a Trezor and then like a Bitcoin wallet on your phone or something like that, you could do one wallet and the second wallet, like so, or the phone wallet and the Trezor wallet. So it's very outside of this inflexibility of the metal. This is a very flexible key phrase, like not physically, but like, I don't want to say not emotionally, but like, and not, I don't know what the word is. But it's just, it has a lot of options. You have a lot of options with this. I kind of wish that they had put like, so like this is I, so this is O, and this is O. I wish, because a lot of times I was like, okay, that's 3 from the end, 1, 2, 3 from the end. And, it just takes time. I wish they put like a little indentation, or like a colored symbol, or just like painted it on, or something, just like a sticker or something that says like O, P, just to make it go faster. It's a time-consuming process. I'd say give yourself about an hour, just to make sure, because you want to write down your seed phrase, then you want to take the first 4 letters, then you want to, one word at a time, take out the first 4 letters, make sure they're in the right order, make sure they're all the same, uppercase, lowercase, if that's what you want, and then make sure you put them on the right way, and then put the separator in, here are the separators. So and then lock it in, and then go back. So what I do is, so let's say I have, let's say I'm using like MetaMask on my computer. So to test it, you know, Andres used to, or like not Andres, I don't know if he ever personally said this, but a lot of people online would be like, oh, send a small amount of funds to your wallet, delete it, you know, make sure you get the funds, some like $10 to your wallet, whatever wallet it is, delete that wallet, reinstall it, and then use your key phrase and see if the funds are there. And I was like, oh yeah, great, that's a great idea. And then I'm thinking like, that's a stupid ass idea. Like, I don't want to lose $10. I know it's not a lot, but like, it kind of is a lot. Just losing any money is just kind of dumb. So what I started doing was, I would take my, you know, like, so like let's just say this is 2 MetaMasks, because MetaMask uses 12 words. So let's just say this is 2. I had like one on a Brave browser and one on a Chrome browser or something like that. 2 different wallets. So I put them both on here, and then I would download MetaMask for iOS, like one on my phone and one on my computer, on my iPad, and then I would test them out. I would put it in, and if the wallets were, and if the funds were there, it worked. So that way I don't have to like risk deleting, you know, losing my wallet, losing the funds in there, or losing, you know, if I had given that like any of the addresses in the MetaMask to anybody and then forgot that I gave it to them and they tried to send me funds, like it would be gone forever. So there's better ways of testing your seed phrase to make sure you wrote it down properly and install that on here. And the other thing I suggest doing is writing down your seed phrase on a piece of paper, then putting it on here, and then storing the paper somewhere, and then storing this separately somewhere. And then a week later, when you've forgotten the words, then go back and do it, because I caught myself a couple times, like after the first or second character, knowing the rest of the word and just putting it in and not looking at this, just because I still remembered what the word was. So I think you really want to go in fresh, like a week or 2 later, when you don't remember the words. That way you know you're putting in every single thing perfectly, and then it's coming up. And then the other thing, if you're using this, if you're using 12 words, it's not an issue, because if you're using 12 words, you can probably fit all 12 words on here. But with 24, you can only put the first 4 characters of each word. Now, BIP 39 and SLP 139 or whatever, or 39, they're those lists of words where they give you corresponding numbers. And those are the ones you only need to put the first 4 characters in. And then some wallets will actually finish the word for you, but some won't. And if a wallet isn't using those 2 sets of words, and you instinctually just put down the first 4, and then you go to one of those word lists and it's not the same, then you've just lost your entire seed phrase, or you've lost all your funds on that wallet. So make sure the wallet manufacturer that you're taking the seed phrase from supports BIP 39 or I forget the other one, SLP 39. Make sure they support that, because if they don't, and you have a 24-word seed phrase, and you only put the first 4 characters on, and they're not using those words, that's it. You've just lost all the money, and you don't have the other seed phrase written down somewhere on the paper. That's it. You're screwed. So always keep that original, paper and pen, the one you wrote down on that first. Keep that until you've done this like once or twice, and you're 100% positive it works. But it's also good, keep them in different safes, or keep one at a family member's house and then one at your place, or just like to have multiple copies. It's always good to have like 2 or 3 copies, especially if one of them's paper. What else? That's it. If you like this, if you're interested in this, here's a brand new one, unopened, that they sent me. I'm going to have a giveaway for it, and I will pay for the shipping. I'll pay for the shipping anywhere in the world. So I know I have a lot of listeners in different countries, so don't worry about it. This is not a US only contest. I will figure out a way to get it to you. I hope it doesn't cost the same as this. They sent it to me for like 25 bucks from Poland, I think. So I can't imagine it costing more than that. And I would be more than happy to cover that for whoever wins that. So I'll figure out a way to, the best way to do the raffle. And then I'll tweet it and put it on the website and all that, just so you guys have, or you all have plenty of time to enter. And that's it. Thank you for listening. So who is this for? Like I said, if I mean, you know, at this point you've seen it. If you don't mind the time intensity of this, if you know, maybe if you have a bunch of little kids running around or puppies or kittens that like to jump on stuff when you're doing stuff, maybe this isn't the best for you. But if you feel comfortable not losing any of these pieces, like this is a full 24. I'm gonna do this one next. I have another 24 word C phrase. I still feel like I'll have a bunch of extra stuff. So I think if you just want something for around the house that you don't really need to ever like look at because it's on your computer or something like that, I think this is great. And also, the guy who made it, his name is I think it's Polish. I can't pronounce it, and we were emailing back and forth, and I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just gonna say he's just a really cool guy. I mean, first off, he sent me that for free, and that's like $150. So it was just really nice of him. And he's like, yeah, just give it away, or if you want to give it to a friend or something like that. I was like, no, I want to give it to a listener of the show. They're the kinds that they're like this, and then you slide all the little letters in, and it's just like it's a plate. And Jameson Lopp did some hardcore tests. I'll have the link in the show notes. And he used like a blowtorch, and they all just melted, and all the letters fell out on all of them. He tested like 10 different ones, and they all fell out. And then he dropped them in acid, and they all fell out. And he would bend it, and they would all fall out. So they were just like just unusable. If they were going to be under that kind of circumstance. So he had one. He made one. The guy who made this made one of those, and Jameson just totally ripped it to shreds. And he just said his life was just like in tatters. He was so despondent about it. He felt betrayed. He felt like, but then, once he got past it, he said it gave him so much drive. And this was kind of in the woodworks, but it gave him drive to finish this and make this absolutely amazing. And I think he's almost got it. I think like one more iteration. I think this is an issue if it were ever to bend or break. So I think having this be a flexible ribbon and not attached to this, I think that would be perfect. But he's just made something absolutely incredible. The only other downside, and I'll say it's a very minute one, and it just depends on you. If you only have these two, it would still be kind of annoying, because if you had two different wallets and you're using both of these, there's no way to distinguish them from each other. So I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to I engraved a C right there just for crypto, just to see if it would work. So it's very subtle. So I might be able to do like 1 and 2, or T for Trezor and L for Ledger, or S for Ledger S and X for Ledger X. So but this metal is so durable that I could barely get that C in there with an engraver. And it's a battery operated engraver, so maybe I was using something a little more industrial, but I just wanted to test around with something that people might have around the house. So that is it. I'll post this, and then I'll tweet about it, and then I'll let you know how you can win this. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one. I've got 7 more that I'm testing. So just be tuned. Not all of them. I don't think any of them are going to be videos. This one was pretty visually difficult to describe, so that's why I decided to make this one a video. I think the rest are just going to be blog posts. And that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.